All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to find the simple interest rate R given the annual percent yield. And this is important because if you want to calculate the interest payment for a savings account, for example, you're going to need to know what is R. But a lot of times banks only give the annual percent yield, the APY. So you'll have to use the APY to figure out what R is. Okay, and this is part of a playlist where I will be building up to show you exactly how to calculate your bank's savings account interest payment. And the link to that playlist will be in the description of this video. Okay, so previously, in the previous video, we showed how to arrive at this formula for annual percent yield. And basically, to find the simple interest rate, what I need to do is rearrange this formula and solve for R. All right. Actually, one additional thing that I need to do is I need to note that R is the annual interest rate. So in this situation, when I'm trying to solve for R, I will go ahead and plug in T equals 1. Just 1 year. We're trying to find the simple interest rate for 1 year, annually, 1 year. Okay, so that's the first step. You'll take your formula for APY, okay, and you'll just go ahead and plug in 1 for T. So N times 1 is just N. All right. Then from here, we'll go ahead and solve for R. All right, now this is just algebra, but you do need to be careful with the way you're doing your algebra. So we have APY, you've added 1 to both sides. All right, how do I get rid of that exponent? Well, imagine if it were squared, I would take the square root. Remember, square root is just 1 over 2 power. So same idea, you take the reciprocal power, okay? So I'll take this to the 1 over n power to both sides, and then my exponent will cancel. All right, so I'll have APY plus 1 to the 1 over n power equals 1 plus R over n. All right, almost done. Okay, subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, plus 1 to the 1 over n power minus 1. Last step to get R all by itself is multiply both sides by n. Okay, so you have n times, I'll need 2 parentheses, APY plus 1 equals R. Right, these guys cancel. Okay, so this is the formula that you'll want to use to find the simple interest rate when you've been given the annual percent yield, or the interest rate with compounding. All right, so let me go and do an talk about this example where we'll use this formula. Previously in this playlist, we've been going through this Excel spreadsheet, making this Excel spreadsheet where I have a very simple example where I have $100 in the bank, and I'm going to wait a year and see how much I have. With simple interest, I just earn 50 cents every month, right? Because at the end of the year, with 6% simple interest, I would have $106. So basically 50 cents gets added each month. All right, when you have compound interest, instead of earning interest on the $100 every month, I earn interest on the previous balance every month. So I get slightly more money by the end of the year, right? And so we've done these calculations previously. So we've found that the APY in this example is this number here, 0.0616, so slightly more than the simple interest rate, okay? So that's why banks like to tell you the APY, okay? And it tells it tells you more about how much you have earned at the end of the year, because banks are going to use compounding. Okay, but we need to know how to calculate that simple interest rate. So let's use our formula and see if we get back to 6%. That's what we should get back to in this simple example. So N was 12. Okay, I'm going to use Excel to calculate this for me. So I'm going to just click on that cell number, or click on that cell. It puts in the cell reference. So instead of typing out that number, I'm just going to go ahead and have Excel put it in like that. +1. And I want to raise this to the power of 1 over 12 in this simple example. Close the parentheses. -1. Close the parentheses one more time. Press enter, and I get 6%. So we can see the formula works.